from South Africa.
Rahman Rahim. Welcome to the show. It is 6 after 12 o'clock, and we are now going to be talking with attorney Zehir Omar. Assalamu alaikum to you, attorney Zehir Omar. Welcome to the program. Long time no speak.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
Zahir, for those who've been following the Al Mabroor matter, can you explain where things currently stand? And that, of course, is from a legal perspective. And what should those investors that have been affected by the Al Mabroor case, what should they know?
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. That is very, very important. Before we do or say anything, we seek Allah's protection from shaitan being cursed, and we recite in the name of Allah, beneficent, the most merciful. Now, I spoke to many investors, and many agree that, they did not, before investing it, they did not recite A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Now, look, the Ponzi scheme. Let me explain to you very basically what a Ponzi scheme is.
Mm-hmm.
You and I start advertising from Salam Media starting today. We call it Zahir's Investments. Good. We offer a profit. We call it a profit. It's actually, it's haram, but we call it a profit to lure Muslim investors in. We say you invest with us, we give you a return of say 15%, which is higher than all the banks. Right. And what we do is then Motion invest 10,000, Isman invest 20,000, Hamid invest 100,000, and so it goes on. And then we say with Motion, once your return, you give a month's notice. And we give him his capital plus 15%. But what we're doing is paying Motion from the money given to us from other investors. It's purely a Ponzi scheme. We're not investing in sheep, goats, nothing of the sort.
Mm-hmm.
We are engaging in the activity of a bank. Now, in our country, we have what is known as the Banking Act or the Deposit Act. Now, this is to be very careful. Now, to have a bank, to have a scheme or an institution where we're going to receive investments like did Al Mabroor, number one, the entity must be a public company. That means it must be registered with the stock exchange. Number two, it must be registered with the Reserve Bank. You can't have an entity eliciting people investments, luring people to invest unless that entity is registered with the Reserve Bank and it is a public company. Now, the moment it's registered with the Reserve Bank and it's a public company, then it attacks the scrutiny of the Prudential Authority, which means its books will have to be audited and it will be carefully scrutinized by the Prudential Authority, and it is lawful. Now, with the Al Mabroor, Al Mabroor is not a registered company, neither was it registered with the Reserve Bank. It's a bunch of hoodlums, a group of people who set up an institution, a company. It's a private company. And they lured Muslim people into investing in it, making them believe that their investment is halal. Now, Muslims, you exploit people's iman, you exploit their belief in saying your investment is now pure, it's Sharia compliant. And people were lured to invest and they lost the money.
Mm-hmm.
But what's very important to note here is the Prudential Authority, which is the body supervising and which is the body that must prosecute, has not received a single affidavit from any one investor. Now that is very, very disturbing. And then there's a group called the ATM movement. The ATM movement are telling people not to pay lawyers to recover their money. They must get lawyers to do it pro bono and to do it on a contingency basis. Now this is nonsense because let me explain to you what pro bono means. Now in terms of the rules of the High Court, it's called pro deal. You fill in a form and your total assets must not exceed 10,000 rand. And then you're entitled to pro deal litigation to be held free of charge. Now, people living in RDP houses have assets more than 10,000 rand. It is the poorest of the poor living in shacks who don't have assets more than 10,000 rand. And then that's how they will. Contingency, contingency is exactly a gamble. It's chance. It's haram. You're investing time or money in the hope of achieving something. That's totally haram. That's from the very beginning. And then I have many calls from people who start with telling me, look, I'm a pensioner and I'm a pensioner. Look, man, the very start you are foolish to invest in this scheme without asking basic questions. In South Africa, we are fortunate. We have Parkasama, we have Salam Media, we have Majlis, and all these institutions and people of the high and the ranks of Mufti AK, Mufti Desai of the Majlis will not charge you 1 cent for advice. You vote by officers, you vote Ahmed Esop attorneys, you vote Ujatayub. You ask them, is this a legitimate institution to invest in? And we have told you it's not. Now, people must understand it happens repeatedly over the years where Muslims are lured to invest.
Absolutely. Zahid,
but
can I come in here, please, because of time
please do,
constraints?
please do.
What and you're so right when you talk about the moment you hear the word halal, this is a halal opportunity, a halal investment opportunity. We as Muslims fall for that, sadly, and then also we are greedy. We want to make more money. And
Yes.
then this, they dangle a carrot in front of you and you fall for it. But be that as it may, a lot of people have been caught in this Al Mabroor scheme. What immediate steps should victims take to protect their rights and strengthen any political legal claim?
Look, I've told investors on my side, I want to make a deposit of 35,000 rand to pursue the case. We court in Charlotte on the 27th or on any day after the 27th. I'm taking it with the Prudential Authority to court. And then I told investors who don't want to or who do not have the fees, we are preparing a march, inshallah, in August. We'll have a huge march from a point in Pretoria. We'll march up to the offices of the Prudential Authority because people actually don't have to pay money here. It is the job of the Prudential Authority to prosecute the directors. And the Prudential Authority has not done the work, but they haven't done the work because not a single investor has submitted an affidavit. A simple affidavit to go to the Prudential Authority. I'm investing money here. I do not want to, I don't have to legal fees, but the law has cast you with the obligation to prosecute the people. The Prudential Authority has not received one single affidavit. So what I'm going to do, inshallah, I'll do it free of charge. I'm going to arrange a march, a huge march, and all the investors and others who have not been investors, who support the prosecution of the directors can participate. We'll then march in Pretoria from a central point. We'll end to the officers of the Prudential Authority. We'll submit affidavits to the Prudential Authority to compel the Prudential Authority to prosecute and to pursue the directors and operators and to ensure that the monies are returned.
Okay, Zahir, here's another important question. I have absolutely no legal background at all, so do excuse me if it's a stupid question. Do you think the reason why the investors have not opened up a case against Al Mabroor is on the basis that the majority, we can't say all of them, but some of them or most of them have invested in Al Mabroor with undeclared funds? And you know what I mean by that.
That's a very strong suspicion. You are absolutely, this is what I thought in the beginning too. I
Right.
thought genuinely it's open money. You are quite right.
Okay.
But you must understand the following. You remember when Praveen Gordhan was the Minister of Finance, he was Commissioner of Finance first.
Mm.
This was in 2006. In fact, I myself, I got about the 2-3 million I applied for amnesty. So many Indian people applied for amnesty for the Upland they invested. But you must understand, if they did invest Upland money, then it's more dangerous for them not to come forward. Because by far, I have close to 1 billion rands of investors, a record of the investments. And it's only a message of time when the receiver is going to come back and ask them, but you invested with Al Mabroor. Because if I have it, it's a public document.
Mm.
I have a documentation of every cent invested in Al Mabroor. I have my statements. And so will SARS have these bank statements. So if the investors believe that they're not going for the money, it will only create further suspicion in the receipt of revenue that these people have so much money that they are not even going to recover their money, and there must be much more which they have which is undeclared.
Mhm.
So if they think they're not pursuing the recovery of their lost funds is going to save them, the opposite is true.
Okay, we've got to go for an ad break. When we come back, we'll talk some more. And I also want to put to you the issue around a class action. Would it be relevant in this case? But all of that and more right after the ad break. Please do stand by.
Very well. All right, very well. Thank you.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Dad, these Frymax chips are so tasty.
Wow, that really takes me back. My dad bought me a Frymax chips every day after school. They were my favorite when I was your age as well. Quality is at the very heart of what we do, and that's why we ensure that every Frymax packet is filled with the beautiful goodness and flavor-packed taste that you've come to expect from us since 1982. Frymax, from generation to generation.
You South African, of course. You anxious about the future. We've got you covered. Build on your wealth portfolio with Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange. Visit us at 151 Stephen Dlamini Road, Musgrave, Durban, or call us on 031-202-4700 for more information. Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange, your passport to gold investment.
Africa. Give the gift of clean water with Africa Muslims Agency. With every water well or borehole you donate, your drop becomes a river, reconnecting communities to nourishment, education, dignity and empowerment. Sponsor a water well for 17,000 Rand in Africa or a borehole for 65,000 Rand in Afghanistan or Africa. Quench the thirst. Reconnect the soul with Africa Muslims Agency.
Are you banking with convenience, transparency, and flexibility? With Al Baraka Bank's transactional banking account, you can enjoy convenient everyday banking designed around your needs. Benefit from zero fees on point-of-sale transactions and manage your banking easily through Al Baraka's secure mobile banking app and internet banking platform. From everyday payments to managing your personal or business banking, Al Baraka makes banking simple, transparent, and convenient. Visit albaraka.co.za to learn more. Al Baraka, your partner bank. Al Baraka Bank Limited is an authorized financial services and credit provider.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
Welcome back. I'm talking with attorney Zehir Omar. We're talking about the Al Mabroor case. And just a reminder that this interview with Zehir will end at 12:30 exactly. Welcome back, Zehir. And I put a question to you before the ad break regarding a class action. Is it, would it work in a situation like this case, Al Mabroor, or is this really about our class actions only workable when you have a case against the state?
The word class action. You see, our High Court and Match Court rules do not have a specific provision for a class action. Reaches were applied to court several years ago for a class action for a group of miners who were injured in a mine accident. To apply to court to allow the Al Mabroor investors to pursue class action, that itself will take several years. Too long and no success. With this instance, in this instance here, it's really easy. What we'll do is we'll do a normal supplements. We say party A, say Ismail Bada, plaintiff, and others. We mix a list of others, say 20 others to the summons. And this will be the 20 or 20 or 30 plaintiffs. But the case against Mabroor is relatively easy because one, the Mabroor did not operate in compliance with the law. It was not registered with the Reserve Bank. It was not a registered and unlimited company. Number two, Section 91 clothes or renders the operators or the directors criminally liable. Number three, it is the Prudential Authority that has the jurisdiction to pursue the directors. So really, it is generally a very streamlined, easy case. But the people are not coming forward. I mean, people are phoning me and telling me about Pro-Day with the cancer patients, and 99% are lying. Quran, Allah says, odious, evil in the eyes of Allah are those who do not do that which they say they will do. The people lie and they lie too, and they're not sure whether it's opening money or not opening money. And so it goes on. I went to a point where I said, well, let us all together march to the office of the Prudential Authority. We don't pay a cent. Give your effort. Let us have a group of people who will tell us whether they're willing to, so we can arrange a date, we arrange balance, and we do a march. Just to express our objection to government and say, look, we are investors, we've been conned, the law has to protect us, but the people are not coming forward.
Okay, so Zehir, would you know at this point in time how many people were actually invested in this Al Mabroor scheme? And also, do you have an overall figure, the total amount? Let's assume 100 people invested. Collectively, what was that amount?
I had in my file, I'm really honestly, I'm not exaggerating. It could be in excess of $1 billion.
Sure.
There are custom. There are thousands. I've got it in my file. I'm not exaggerating. If you want me to, I could courier to you a copy of the document of the names of the people.
It is shocking. It is absolutely shocking.
It's beyond shocking. And
So-
it's all Muslim people. It's shocking.
All right, Zehir, what is your interest in the case? I presume it's a few investors that have approached you and have asked for advice. Is that where you're sitting?
Quite correct. This fund it was Barka Sahamana, and then as you correctly say, I have a few investors. And I'm going to court next week, Tuesday. It'll be heard on Wednesday or Thursday next week with a semi-urgent application. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the court to compel the Prudential Authority to discharge the obligations in terms of the act. And I want an order to freeze the money in the account where it is held. Now, I think I have managed to identify where monies are being kept. It is being kept by a certain person in a certain account. Now, look.
Do you honestly think, Zehir, do you really think that they haven't moved out the funds already? If they've been this sharp to con
Yes.
so many people,
Yeah.
do you think that the monies are still sitting there? I doubt it very much.
You're very clever, but look. The monies were paid into a specified bank account. So there's a paper trail. So we're going to ask the court for the person to whose account the money was paid to produce a bank statement. So a simple perusal of the money coming in, money going out, will tell us how the money was dealt with. And then it is said that the Hawks are involved. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Because I did a letter to Nathan Associates. At first, they sent me a letter saying they're not involved. Then another gentleman sent me a letter saying he is involved. But then when I made inquiries, I discovered he is not an auditor. He's not a registered auditor.
Okay.
So if he is going to produce facts to the Hawks, it will be inadmissible evidence because the court will only accept that which is the best evidence. So there's people in the background who are consciously engaged in efforts to prevent or to dissuade the investors from taking the case forward. That's a genuine truth.
I've just had a question. I've
Yes.
just had a question from a listener. These two questions they've put to us. They'd like to know if there is proof that the Hawks are investigating this matter. So if the Hawks are investigating the matter, then you don't need to be representing the people that have approached you, I presume.
And let me answer that question.
Okay, and
the
then let me
Hawk
go
is a
to
bird.
That's
utter rubbish. That's utter nonsense. The Hawks are not. There's no such thing of the Hawks investigating anything. That is a rumor that's been created most likely by the directors and the operators who want to dissuade the whole situation being invested. The Hawk is all a nonsense rumor. It's a strange hawk. It's a Korean hawk.
Okay.
Nothing of the sort. Several years have gone by. There's no progress being made. Nothing.
There's a comment here about the march. The listener is suggesting that it's a weak solution. What do you hope to actually achieve by having a march?
The march is, I'll tell you what we're going to do with the march. The march will be an unequivocal statement to government and to the Prudential Authority, forcing the Prudential Authority to discharge the statutory duty. It's not the first time, and it's each time happening to Muslim people. This must come to an end now. It has to stop at some point. We will go to march to the Prudential Authority. We tell the Prudential Authority, you are by law have a duty to stop this happening. It's happening, and Muslim people each time are being affected. This was a Ponzi scheme. You know it's a Ponzi scheme. You have not criminally charged anyone. And if you, a march is a first step towards a revolution. Anyone will know that. And anyone following the Iranian war against America and the Zionists will understand that we as Muslims, we will not take operations sitting down. We will begin with a march. After march, something more radical will come. But a march must take place. We have to put a stop to Muslims being exploited in this fashion.
However, Zehir...
Sorry. And the CEO of Mabroor is a guy called Rian Smith. He's non-Muslim. He don't make istinja. This is how our Muslims are allowing themselves to be exploited.
You know what, Zehir?
Yes.
Zehir.
Yes.
I think what will be said to you guys when you I presume a memorandum is going to be handed over. And what will be said is that you, in your capacity, in your sane capacity, made the decision to invest in a Mabroor. So what is the march going to, how is the march going to serve you? That's the one part of my question. And then to wrap up, because we're almost at wrap up time, my last question would be, beyond this current case, what warning sign should members of the public look out for before investing? Marv? And what due diligence should they always do to avoid similar situations in the future? And let me also add to this, this has happened once, way too often in the Muslim community by Muslims to fellow Muslims. Over to you, Zehir.
You see, Parliament has foreseen this event. That is why Parliament created Banks Act. And that is why the Prudential Authority was created. Parliament foresaw that there will be human beings out there who will start banks, illegal banks. And when this happens, Parliament has created the body called the Prudential Authority to prosecute. And the issues concerning Mabroor is now widely in the public domain. And I am surprised why the Prudential Authority has not come out. I have approached them. They tell me they have not received a single affidavit. That's understandable. But if we march, I will then submit the memorandum and I'll submit affidavits by people who lost their money. That will be done free of charge. We give it to them. And then as far as the future is concerned, the first thing you do if you are asked to invest money, phone Mufti Agents, Markaz Sahaba, phone your radio station, phone ask Mufti Desai or Majlis. You get free of charge advice. You ask Muslim lawyers, our officers, you shall pay them. And any of the other German lawyers, they're not going to charge you for advice.
I suppose, to put it simply, Zehir, what you're saying is, if it sounds too good to be true, then it ain't good to be true, right?
I could express it better. We've expressed it far better. Yes.
I mean, really, there's no such a thing as a free lunch. So if someone dangles something in front of you, you should be suspicious. You need to do your due diligence. So here, that's where we have to leave it. I would like a follow-up interview with you as and when you receive updates. We're more than happy to accommodate you and have you voice your opinions right here on Salam Media. So will you take us up on that offer?
I certainly will, inshallah.
Okay, in closing, what do you want to say? Short and sharp, if you don't mind.
In future, if you are asked to invest, please take the advice of Salam Media. If it's too good to be true, refrain. The best investment, all money in the bank is haram. But if you want to invest, you can do it with First National Bank. It's called a Sharia investment, and you get up to 10% maximum. But anything more than 10% return profit, you must be on your toes, be suspicious.
And do your due diligence. Zahir,
Yes.
It's been wonderful talking with you after a very, very long absence. And I do hope that we will be talking with you on a regular basis for regular updates on this matter. And I think we really need to open this can of worms as wide as we possibly can, because this nonsense must stop. We can't have Muslims exploiting other Muslims, or we can't have people exploiting innocent people as well. So you go well. Inshallah, we know that you're a very, very good attorney, and may you serve the people that have approached you in the best way possible. Thank you for your time, and assalamu alaikum to you. It's exactly 12:32, and we are moving along. In a short while after the ad break, we will be talking with Mbali Zulu, project manager, visitor and creative economy at Josie My Josie.